वन्दे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशम् ईशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशांश्च तत्शक्ति कृष्णचैतन्यसंज्ञकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण लीलामृतसार तार शत शतधार दस दीग बहे जहाते से चैतन्य लीला सरोवर अक्षय मनहुं सचराहताहते। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we have been discussing about initiating and instructing spiritual masters, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. In last class, we were discussing about Krishna instructing Brahma as Antarjami, the spiritual knowledge, and then from within he helps Brahma to realize the same. So in that way, we heard from Chatusloki Bhagavatam, where we established that Krishna manifests himself in form of instructing spiritual master. To further describe the same concept, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he quotes a verse from Krishna Karanamrita, which is written by Bilvamangal Thakur, who is also called as Lilasuk, where he explains very clearly Krishna as is Shiksha Guru. So, text number 57, चिंतामणिर्जयति सोमगिरिर्गुरुर्मे शिक्षा गुरुश्च भगवान् शिखिपीच्छमौलिः जत्पादकल्पतरुपल्लवशेखरेषु लीला स्वयंवररसं लभते जयश्री. So here Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is quoting this verse where Bilvamangal Thakur says, all glory is to Chintamani. Chintamanir Jayati and Somagirir Gururme. Somagiri is his initiating spiritual master and my initiating spiritual master Somagiri. All glories to my instructing spiritual master. Who is instructing spiritual master? His identification has been given, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna, but who is Krishna? Now you see. That Krishna who wears peacock feathers in his crown under the shade of his lotus feet, which are like desert trees. Jayasri, Sri Radharani, enjoy the transcendental mellow of an eternal consort. So here Srila Prabhupada explains that Srila Billamangal Thakur, he is offering his obeisances to first of all Chintamani, the prostitute who helped Billamangal Thakur to awaken his attachment to Krishna. And then he offers his obeisances to Somagiri, his spiritual master. And then he is again glorifying Krishna as his Shiksha Guru. So in Sarangarangada Tika, they've been different. Chintamani, Asaya Matrena, Abhishta Purakatvat, Chintamani Tam, Sarvotkarsata Cha Asya. Means, just like Chintamani means wish fulfilling gem. It can avert all benedictions. Whatever we desire, we can get. So in that way, yes, Kimba Jayati Tam Prati Pranata Asmi Ityartha. So here when he is saying Jaya, Chinta Manir Jayati. So here Jayati word is being used in the term of glorifying, offering obeisances. And he is offering obeisances to Chintamani because who has helped him to attain the highest perfection in his life. And tathahi Kabya Prakasya Jayati Arthena Namaskara Akshipyate. So this Jayati is used to offer obeisances. Ataha tam prati pranato asmi ityartha iti. He has been remembering the favor he has received from Chintamani, that by the direction of Chintamani, Villamangal Thakur has received the highest benediction, that is Krishna. Therefore, he is offering his obeisances unto him, he is glorifying him. Bhagavan Sikhipicha Mauli, Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Shiksha Guruscha, here it says, Shiksha Guruscha Bhagavan Sikhipicha Mauli. That Bhagavan, who is my Shiksha Guru, who is that Sikhipicha Mauli, who wears a peacock feather in his crown. Jat Pada Kalpataru Pallava Shekhareshu Jayasrihi Leela Swayamvarasam Labhate. Who is Jayasri? Srimati Radharani is Jayasri. And who has taken shelter of the shade of the lotus feet of Krishna. And especially it is said that Pallava Shekhareshu, Kalpa Taru Pallava. Kalpataru is wish-fulfilling tree, and the leaf, which is the tip of such a tree, have been defined as the toe of Krishna's lotus feet. That means Srimati Radharani, who is very much attracted to the toe of Krishna's lotus feet, and who, under the shade of Krishna's lotus feet, Swayambara Rasam Labhate, she is experienced the topmost mellow or you can say the conjugal mellow under the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. So in that way, Leela Swayamvara Rasam, that is the highest attainment of the transcendental mellow uh, by self-surrender due to intense attachment. Swayamvara Rasa. It's not that the attachment of Radharani is created by someone. No, she herself gets very much attached to Krishna and she is fully surrendered. As a result of which, her service exchange helps her to release the highest form of conjugal rasa. Hmm? So, Jayasri, which indicates Srimati Radharani in the qualities of beauty, conjugal fidelity, good fortune, and competence. In all these good qualities, Radharani excels Lakshmi Devi, Parvati Devi, Arundhati, even Satyabhama. That's why it has been defined as Jayasri. Hmm? So, further, uh, Sri Krishna is Villamangal Thakur Shiksha Guru. So here Krishna actually helps Villamangal Thakur to experience the rasa uh, of service with Krishna. Therefore, he is respecting or he is glorifying Krishna with this verse in this way. And Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, the second paragraph I am reading, in the beginning of that book, that is Krishna Karnamrita, Bilamangal Thakur has offered his obeisances to his different gurus. And it is to be noted that he has adored them all equally. The first spiritual master mentioned is Chintamani, who was one of his instructing spiritual master, because he first showed him the spiritual path. Chintamani was a prostitute with whom Billu was intimate earlier in his life. She gave him the inspiration to begin on the path of devotional service, and because she convinced him to give up material existence to try for perfection by loving Krishna, he was first offered his respect. He has first offered his respect to her. Next, he offers his respects to his initiating spiritual master, Somagiri, and then to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, uh, who was also his instructing spiritual master. He explicitly mentions Bhagavan, who has peacock feathers on his crown, because the Lord of Vrindavan Krishna, the cowherd boy, used to come to Bilvamangal to talk with him and supply him with milk. In his adoration of Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, he states that Jayasri, the goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani, takes shelter in the shade of his lotus feet to enjoy the transcendental rasa of nuptial love. The complete treatise, Krishna Karnamrita, is described as the transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. It is a book to be read and understood by the most elevated devotees of Sri Krishna. So here, the main thing is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he defines how a devotee in a topmost consciousness accepts Krishna as his Shiksha Guru, and not only he accepts, but Krishna also reciprocates with such a devotee to experience the beauty and sweetness in Krishna. So, in text number 58, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Jive Sakshat Nahitate Guru Chaitya Rupe Sikkha Guru Hoy Krishna Mahanta Swarupe. Since one cannot visually experience the presence of the Supreme Super Soul, he appears before us as a liberated devotee. Such a spiritual master is none other than Krishna himself. So here, Guru Chaitya Rupe, Sikkha Guru Hoy Krishna Mahanta Swarupe. So a conditioned soul does not have the capacity to receive instructions from Krishna, who is situated in the heart of every living entity. Guru Chaitya Rupe. He is there as Chaitya Guru. But Krishna manifests himself as Mahanta Guru. Mahanta Guru means the topmost devotee, pure devotee. So here we need to understand that who is a Mahanta Guru. Mahanta means the topmost devotee. Who is that? In Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen while describing Lord Rishabdev, he speaks, Mahantaste samachitta prasanta vimanyavar surida sadhavati. Mahatma te samachitta. Samachitta means they behave with all living entities equally, as it is befitting. Samachitta, prasanta. They are very peaceful. They are not agitated by any circumstantial situation because they are situated in the absolute truth. They can see how the living entities who are in conditioned state of existence are being tormented. So when a pure devotee come in contact with such a person, they are not agitated. They are samachitta, prasanta, and vimanyavaha. They are free from anger, surida. They are surida. Surid means they are friendly to all, and sadhava. Sadhava means they follow the rules and regulations of scripture. Not that they dress themselves like a sadhu and do everything contrary to scriptural rules and regulations. No. So you can see, so when Krishna says, Sikkha Guru Hoy Krishna Mahanta Swarupe, so this is the Mahanta. And further, in the same Shabda, he describes, Jeva Maise Krita Sauridartha, a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, who is connected with me. What is the situation? Janeshu deham bharavartikeshu griheshu jayatma jaratimatsu na priti javad na priti yukta javad arthascha loke. So such a devotee, he accepts Krishna as the Parama Purushartha. He never accepts any other object as the Purushartha for him. And such a person, they are not interested in mingling with people who are busy in maintaining their body, eating, sleeping, and mating. Janeshu deham bharavartikeshu, griheshu. and Jayatma Jarasmatsu. No Priti Yukta. They are not attached to such things. Children, friends, wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to execute their duty as a grahastha. You see, a grahastha, he can also be a Mahatma, a great soul, great devotee. In that way, when it is said, Vishwabdev is saying that uh, they don't get attachment. They are not attached to house or the family members. It does not mean that they are irresponsible grahasthas. No, they do their household duties properly, and such people are interested in collecting enough to take care of their family members. They don't have any greed to earn more, accumulate more things. So he is a Mahanta. So Krishna, who manifests himself through such topmost devotees. Prabhupada writes, it is not possible for a conditioned soul to directly meet Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if one becomes a sincere devotee and seriously engages in devotional service, Lord Krishna sends an instructing spiritual master to show him favor and invoke his dormant propensity for serving the Supreme. The predecessor the preceptor appears before the external senses of the fortunate conditioned soul, and at the same time, the devotee is guided from within by the Chaitya Guru, Krishna, who is seated as the spiritual master within the heart of the living entity. So, in that way, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami now he further going to quote a verse from uh, Srimad Bhagavatam to explain this concept how a devotee in the association of such a great topmost devotee, he progresses in Krishna consciousness by giving up materialistic association. So here it says, Tato Dussangam Utsujya, text number 59. Tato Dussangam Utsujya Satsu Sajjata Buddhiman Santa Eva Chindanti Mano Vyasangam Uktivhi. So, this verse describes that one should therefore avoid bad company and associate only with devotees, with their realized instructions. Such sense can cut the knot, connecting one with activities unfavorable to devotional service. So, this is where the association of a topmost devotee is described. So, Jiva Goswami, he writes in Krishna, in Krama Sandarbha, he said, Asat Sangat Tyag api na kinchit syat. It is not just enough to just give up the company of bad association. Or he is saying that just by giving up the company of bad association means nothing. No kinchit syat. Kintu satsangena eva iti aha tata iti. That means once you have given up the company of bad association, then the next thing is we must seek out for the good association, or you can say satsanga, associate with the devotees. There are some people in the material world we have seen, according to them, as long as they are getting good earning from their business or their service, or maybe somebody is working in the field and they are very nicely maintaining the family members. They are not committing any sinful activities. They feel they are successful. Uh, yes, in one sense, in the material sense, they are successful temporarily. But here it is said that, according to Jiva Goswami, they should seek out the association of devotees. Uh, why? Mana vyasangam. Bhakti pratibandhakam vasanam. Uh, Actually, mana vyasanga. Prabhupada writes opposing attachment. Actually, our mind many times it get attracted to the desires, or it creates the desires which are contrary to devotional service. So one have to uh, clear such ill desires. How? Uktivi, by the instructions. Uktivi means bhakti mahima pratipadakahi vachanahi. So those instructions which can eradicate the hindrances in bhakti, with such instructions, one should give up the attachment of the mind for activities which are contrary to spiritual life. Tasmat sango na kartabya strisu strainesu chandriyai. This is also coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, one should never let his senses associate freely with women or with men attached to women. Means one should not look upon them with a lustful glance, or don't just be a puppet in their hand. So dussangam, bad association. What is that bad association? Dussanga kaihi kaitab atma vanchana krishna krishna bhakti binu anya kamana. So this dussanga, what is dussanga? Dussanga kahiye kaitab. That is the cheating propensity. What is that? That one cheats oneself or others when Krishna bhakti binu anya kamana. When one have desires other than Krishna and devotional service unto Krishna. So that is the kaitava, cheating propensity. So here one thing we need to understand, that one may keep oneself physically aloof from bad association, but the mind is always attracted to the bad association. I mean to say, once the mind is attracted to bad associations, even if physically one is away, still he is in mind thinking about it. Why it is happening? Because the living entities are wandering in this material world since time immemorial, and in every creation they have been associating with the material nature. Therefore, the living entity, Baddhajeev, has created an alliance with the material energy, and this material energy, Maya Shakti, being an energy of the Supreme Lord, it binds the jiva eternally, because this is also eternal, right? the living and the Maya Shakti is also eternal, because being the energy of the Supreme Lord. That's why it sometimes become manifest in this world or sometimes disappears. But it is there. Therefore, its eternal connection with the conditions will have been defined as the Nitya Baddha Jiva. So, when we are in association of Krishna's external energy, then the only way to get rid of it is, Krishna says, Daivi he saguna mai mama maya duratya mameva je prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. My divine energy is insurmountable. But anyone who takes shelter of me, he can become freed from its attack. So, in the conditioned state of existence, we have greed, love for material objects. But according to Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he says, Lobho sadhu sange harikatha. How we should utilize our greed? He's saying here the topics about Krishna in the association of saintly personalities. Lobha sadhu sangha harikatha. So in that way, mana vyasanga vrittibhi uktibhi. Here mana vyasanga means attachment which is contrary to the devotional service can be eradicated by hearing the narrations about Krishna from a saintly person. Santa eva asya chindanti. And the word eva is very significant here. Because only a devotee can help us to get out of Maya. Srila Siddhar Swami says, Ukti hitopadesa iti तीर्थ देवादि संगात अपि सत्संगः श्रेयान इति दर्शयति. See, the association of a saintly personality exceeds pious credit, even visiting to the holy places, or even performing worship of the demigods, because pure devotee carry the Supreme Lord in their heart. Therefore, they can eradicate the inauspiciousness in our heart just by their instructions. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Sukrita Tirtha Deva Shastra Jnanadinam na Tadrisham Samarthyam iti Jnapitam. See, the potency of the word of a pure devotee. Sukrita means pious activities. Tirtha means service to the Tirtha means visiting the holy places. Then Deva means service to the demigods. Then Shastra Jnana Dinam means even the knowledge of Shastra is not powerful. No, Tadrisham is not as powerful as Sadhu Sangha to eradicate attachment to material objects. Samarthamiti Jnapitam. Because the instructions of a great devotee can eradicate our material attachment. Such a devotee have been defined here as a Shiksha Guru. So Prabhupada is giving very, very enlightening purports in this section. He's saying, this verse which appears in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 26th chapter, 26th verse, was spoken by Lord Krishna to Uddhava in the text known as the Uddhava Gita. The discussion relates to the story of Pururava and the heavenly courtesan Urvashi. When Urvashi left Kururava, he was deeply affected by the separation and had to learn to overcome his grief. It is indicated that to learn the transcendental science, it is imperative that one avoid the company of undesirable persons and always seek the company of saints and sages who are able to impart lessons of transcendental knowledge. The potent words of such realized souls penetrate the heart, thereby eradicating all misgivings accumulated through years of undesirable association. For a neophyte devotee, there are two kinds of persons whose association is undesirable: gross materialists who constantly engage in sense gratification, and unbelievers who do not serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but serve their senses and their mental whims in terms of their speculative habits. Intelligent persons seeking transcendental realization should very scrupulously avoid their company. Hmm? So, therefore, it has been defined that there are two types of undesirable association. Uh, One who is very much engrossed in materialistic life, and a non devotee. And those who are seeking success in Krishna consciousness, they have to be very strict in avoiding such associations. Hmm? Then, what do they associate? Who should they associate with? Describes. Satang prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarana rasayana katha तज्जोषणात् आश्वपभार्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति. The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees, and it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens, and gradually one attains firm faith that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. So here, Saddha Ratir Bhakti Anukramshet. Bhakti means, Prabhupada writes, the Bhakti as love means that is Prema Bhakti. Uh, so this verse confirms that one can attain Prema Bhakti simply by associating with a pure devotee. Means, in the association with a pure devotee, when we hear uh, Harikatha, therefore it is said, Prasangat, Tanjo, sorry, Satang Prasangan Mahavirja Samvita. Prasanga. Prasanga here means, Prabhupada writes, Prasanga, if you see word to word meaning, by intimate association. What is the meaning of intimate association? There is a difference between general association and intimate association. General association means you hear all such and such devotee is a pure soul. Then you go to him, you just sit next to him. Sometimes you talk to him. Then you listen to him. It's just general association. But when we talk about intimate association, that means you take one step forward. You render some service to the such a devotee. And normally we have seen those devotees who are, very pure, they don't take any service so easily. And we have to find the ways and means how we can serve them. And if we can serve them in such a way that where they will be pleased with us. And of course, those devotees are very, very, very sharp. They don't accept service from anyone just like that. I can tell you, I have personally witnessed one of my Guru Maharaj's interaction with, some devotees. Um, anyway, I will not share that. I think that is not correct to share in this forum. Okay, sorry. Um, yeah. So the pure devotees, when we come in contact with them, we give them some service, which uh, creates joy in such devotees. And by such service and surrender, we actually gain their favor. Uh, when we give them pleasure, then such devotee, when they start instructing us, it gives us more intimate association in that way. So here it is said that Hritkarna Rasayana. So when we hear in the company of such devotees, uh, you want to hear again and again because it is rasayana. Rasayana means very, very pleasing to the ear and eyes, heart and the ears, Rit and Karna, very pleasing. Virya Samvida, uh, talks full of spiritual potency. What does it mean? Means these devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, when they talk with full confidence. What they have realized, they speak on the platform of realization. Therefore, it becomes very, very nourishing to the heart and ears of the listeners. Srila Sridhar Swami says, Viryasya samyak vedanam yasu iti virya samvida. Viryasya samyak vedanam yasu. It is Virya Samveda. What is Virya? Virya means strength. So, where do you find strength from the Harikatha? You see, this is the point that we need to take a note on. That a pure devotee of the Lord, when he speaks about Krishna's Bhakta Vatsal quality, how he is affectionate to his devotee, or when a pure devotee describes about how Krishna delivers a conditioned soul. By hearing from such devotees' mouth, we become attracted to Krishna. This is Birjavati Harikatha. Because they have realized this, therefore when they talk, their talk is filled with conviction, or you can say this is the power because they have faith on that topic. That's how it becomes Birjavati Harikatha. So then when we hear from them, we gain attraction and faith unto the personality of Godhead. And apavarga, avidya, nivritti, Bhartma, Jasmin. So apavarga means, what is it? Here it is said, um, Tajoshanat asu apavarga vartmani. Apavarga vartmani means by hearing such Harikatha, we become freed from the avidyas, and on the way of hearing Harikatha, you get darshan of apavarga, mukti, liberation. It's a very interesting point. We need to understand this. Uh, that like in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Dev instructs Devahuti says, Salukya Sasti Samipya Sarupya Kattamapyuta Diyamanam Na Grinhanti Vinamat Sevanam. These liberations, such as Salukya, living in the same planet with the Lord, Samipya, just sitting next to Him, having a form similar to the Lord, Sarupya, Sasti, having the same type of opulence. So even a devotee, even if it is given to a devotee, he does not accept it. Diyamanam na grinhanti. What? Binamat sevanam. They are very much attached to the service of the Lord. Even it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Bhaktim muktim dadati smana bhakti yoga. Shri Krishna even sometimes can give, he may desire to give mukti, like Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnu evana samshaya. Vishnu can give liberation, mukti. But when it comes to attaining love, like here it is said, bhakti, the prema bhakti, attainment of prema bhakti is done only by the pure devotees, by hearing to the devotees of the Lord. This is the secret of success in our Krishna consciousness. Therefore, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, a lot of emphasis have been given to the hearing. Hearing. Why? When we hear from the right source, it can bring us to the platform of even Prema Bhakti. And those devotees, they grow in Krishna consciousness, they release Harikatha in such a way that, like Satyavrata Muni, he says, Varam deva moksham no mokshavadhimba na chanyam vinayaham vareshat api. He is saying, I don't want any boon concerning liberation. Na chanyam vinayaham vareshat api. Moksha avadhimba. He doesn't desire moksha. What do you want? Dante Gopurnatha Gopala Bhalam. He just, Satyavrata Muni is very happy to see the form of Gopal Bal, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Everybody, they are very happy to just chant. Those who are doing deity service, they are just happy to do the deity service. One who is cooking for the Lord, he is just happy in cooking for the Lord. There is some sort of happiness the devotees, derive, they get. So, in commenting to this verse, Sridhar Swami, he is saying, Satsangasya bhaktiyangatvam upapadayati satam iti. How? By associating with the saintly personalities, we gain prema bhakti, that is bhakti anga. Here it is described. Virjasya samyak vedanam jasu ta virja samvida. When we hear from a sadhu, we get to know about the potency of the Harikatha. Hitkarnayo rasayana sukhada तासाम जोषणात् सेवनात् अपवर्ग अविद्या निवृत्त्या वर्तमान जस्मिन् तस्मिन् हरौ प्रथमं श्रद्धा ततो रति ततो भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति क्रमेण भविष्यति. That means when we hear from a pure devotee, first we attain Shraddha, faith, and Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Then Tata, Rati. Thereafter we attain Bhava, or you can even attachment. Then he said Tata, Bhakti. Means after that we attain Prema Bhakti. And Anukramishati. Gradually it happens. So this is a gradual process. Therefore, association of such devotees is very, very important. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that unless one gets the spiritual encouragement by following the instructions of the spiritual master, it is not possible to make advancement. Therefore, one's development of a taste for executing these instructions in the taste of one's devotional service is the taste of one's devotional service. Initially, one must develop confidence by hearing the signs of devotion from a qualified spiritual master. Then, as he associates with devotees and tries to adopt the means instructed by the spiritual master in his own life, his misgivings and other obstacles are vanquished by his execution of devotional service. So this is the point. When we hear the Harikatha from the Guru Maharaj, and he instructs us how to execute Krishna consciousness, in that way we become freed from the contaminations. Therefore, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami further describes Ishwar Swarupa Bhakta Tar Adhishtan Bhaktir Hridaya Krishner Satata Vishram. A pure devotee constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord is identical with the Lord, who is always seated in his heart. So, Ishvara Swarupa Bhakta. A pure devotee is identical with the Lord. Means we should not misunderstand this, that Ishwar Swarupa Bhakta, identical with the Lord means the Swarupa of the Lord and that of a pure devotee are same. If you think like that, that's a misunderstanding. Then we need to understand when it is said a pure devotee is identical with the Lord, what does it mean? It means the pure devotee's desire is identical with the Lord's desire. Whatever Lord wants to do, a pure devotee is also doing. When a devotee is dedicated in executing the mission of the Supreme Lord, that is when he becomes identical with the Lord. Like Prabhupada gives the analogy of the family. In a family, all family members, they have only one desire. Whatever the father, the head of the family decides, everybody follows that. In that way, they become one. They have become one. They're identical. But still they're individuals. So when we say like this, that in such a devotee's heart, Krishna is always seated. He's always residing in the heart of such a devotee. So you can ask the question, well, Krishna is residing in the heart of every living entity. So he is residing in such a devotee's heart. What is so great about this? We need to understand here. When Krishna is residing in the heart of any living entity, um, Lord does not get the happiness. Here it's saying, see, Satata Vishram. He is always resting in the heart of a pure devotee. Vishram. You go to a resting place, hmm, like when you are traveling, you go to some rest house, right? Uh, Resting place, sometimes hotel, whatever. Why do you go there? Because you want to relax, you remain happy. Here, the heart of a pure devotee is a resting place for Krishna. He is very happy. He is not troubled there. Even though it is not a trouble for Krishna to reside in the heart of any living entity. But what is happening, you see, Prabhupada speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, I think text number 9, 10, 11, something like that. Here he gives the analogy of a high court judge. The high court judge is not affected by the decisions. Somebody is being hanged, somebody is given a huge amount of wealth, but he is unattached. So similarly, when Lord is residing the heart of any conditioned soul, and he has to fulfill their desires. Sometimes they have to suffer, sometimes they have to, you know, whatever. So Krishna is not attached, but here in the heart of a pure devotee, it is like the same high court judge. We can take this example. When he's in the court, he may be giving an order to somebody who will be severely punished. He is not affected, he is not attached to anything. When he comes back home, he is not acting like a judge at home. He is mixing with all his family members out of love and affection, right? So similarly, when Krishna resides in the heart of his devotee, he is always enjoying the loving association of his devotee. Because a devotee's heart is free from material desires. Whereas a non-devotee, his heart is filled with material desires. Or you can say even Krishna can smell the desire of a person. So when a pure devotee desires only to serve Krishna, that is very fragrant for Krishna. He likes this. Whereas a karmi who just simply have a lot of material desires, that's like, having a very pungent smell. Very difficult for Krishna to reside there. Anyway, but Krishna is very merciful, he is residing in everybody's heart. But when he resides in the heart of such a devotee, he actually enjoys. Therefore, to confirm this, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is taking the reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, where he says, Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayastaham madanyatena jananti naham tebhya managapi. So, Sadhava mahyam mama hridayam pranatulya priya ityartha. Pranatulya priya means saints are very dear, very close to Lord's heart. And sadhunam api aham hridayam. I am the heart of the sadhus. Te sadhava matta anyat na jananti. And they do not know anything but me. And what do they do? Tattataya na anubhavanti means these sadhus, they do not directly perceive any truth other than the Supreme Lord. That is the position of a sadhu. Aham api tebhya anyat na jananti. I also do not recognize anyone besides them. अतः साधूनाम अनुग्रहम बिना अहम दुर्लभ इति भाव. Therefore, it is concluded that without the association of a sadhu, one cannot attain my mercy. Or you can say, the attainment of Krishna's mercy is dependent on the association of a sadhu. Such a example we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, that when Vidura he went on pilgrimage, he was traveling in the holy places, and one time he remembered about his brother Dhritarashtra, who is still attached to the family life, and he is not able to come out to attain liberation. So while thinking about the well-being of Dhritarashtra, one day Vidura he returned to Hastinapur. And what did he do? When he returned, while welcoming him, receiving him, Sri Yudhishthir Maharaj, she recites this verse, Bhavat Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadabhrita. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage because of their purity. They are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. So, here it is said that in Kramasandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Tirthesu bhaktimatanam bhavatam tirthatanam cha tirthanam eva mangalaya sampadyate iti aha bhavat iti. Tirthatanam cha tirthanam eva mangalaya. These pure devotees of the Lord, they visit different holy places of pilgrimage to give auspiciousness to such places of pilgrimage. And Srila Sridhar Swami, he is even giving far, he is going very far. You can see, he is saying, Bhavatan chatirthatanna swartham. When pure devotees like yourself visit to the holy places, there is no personal intention. There is no desire for yourself. That means people visit holy places to purify themselves. Normally, people commit a lot of sinful activities. They go to holy places to take a dip in the holy river so that they can become purified, right? But a pure devotee, he is pure from within. Why should he go to the holy place with a desire? No. Then why does he go there? And he's saying, Kintu tirthanugrahartham ityaha bhavat iti. You pure devotees visit the holy places to benefit the holy places. How does it happen? He's saying, Marina jana sangsparsena tirthani atirthani santi. When the materialistic people, they come, they leave their sin in the holy tirthas and they make it atirtha. Means the purifying quality is eclipsed. We have seen in the past times of Ganga Devi, when Ganga Devi was descending to this world, she said to Bhagirath that if I go there, all these materialistic people will come and they will leave their sin on me. That is how I will get polluted. And Bhagirath said, no, the pure devotee of the Lord will come and they will take their bath. That is how you will again come back to your original position to purify people. So you will never become contaminated in that way. So here the point is, um, Siddha Swami is saying that Santah punah tirthi kurvanti swantah mana tatra sthena swantastha sthitena va. You can ask the question, how can a devotee purify the contamination of the places of pilgrimage? Swantastena gadabrita means the pure devotee, he is always carrying the Godabhrita, the Supreme Lord, uh, in his heart. Therefore, he has the purifying capacity. In Padyavali, Srila Rupa Goswami writes, Pavanam Pavananam iti. Krishna acts as a purifier for all purifiers. Pavanam Pavananam. There are objects who can purify, but Krishna can purify them. Right? So because Krishna is there, therefore in the heart of a pure devotee, and they have direct connection, that is how they gain the quality of purifying the holy tirthas. Some devotees, they give the analogy like, you see, the association of a pure devotee to a place, holy place of pilgrimage is like ghee which is poured to a fire source. Holy Tirtha is already having so many auspicious qualities. And when a pure devotee comes in contact with the Holy Tirtha, it becomes even more ablaze, the purity becomes more intensified. So in that way, here by speaking like this, it is not that the holy tirtha, they become contaminated to such an extent that they lose the power to purify others. No. Here the glories of the Supreme Lord have been established. Then when we build intimate relationship through prema bhakti, that is where we understand the potency of the Supreme Lord. This is how we realized. So then, in the next, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, now he is concluding this section about Shiksha Guru. In 47, we started. Now in text number 64, he is concluding. Sei bhakta gana idvividha prakar parishad gana ek sadhaka ganar. So these devotees, Sei bhakta gana, such pure devotees, they are Shiksha Gurus. Okay? Dvividha prakar. Parishada gana ek sadhak gan are. There are two types. Such pure devotees are two types. One is Parsada, means personal associates, and sadhaka, they are the neophyte devotees. Prabhupada says sadhakas. But if you see the description of the Parsadas, in Parsada there are Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha Parsadas. In Nitya Siddha Parsadas, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, it is described that say विभिन्नाम सजीव द्वित प्रकार एक नित्य मुक्त एक नित्य संसार. So the Nitya Siddha, they are here defined as two types. The living entities, Jiva, are divided into two categories. Some are eternally liberated and others are eternally conditioned. Nitya Mukta, Nitya Krishna Charane Unmukh. Krishna Parsadanam bhunje seva sukh. Those who are Krishna's parsadas, they are always enjoying the seva sukha. And Nitya Mukta, Nitya Krishna Charane Unnukha. Those who are Nitya Mukta, they are very much attached to Krishna's lotus feet. Anyway, so those who are coming in the category of sadhakas, here we are discussing such a sadhaka. He is actually a Siksha Guru. If you try to understand the position of such a sadhaka by taking the reference from Srila Rupa Goswami from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where he describes about who is a sadhaka. We know we are all sadhakas, but there are different degrees, the levels we are in devotional service. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, Utpanna Ratayar Saumya Nirvignam Anupagata Krishna Sakshat Krito Yogya Sadhaka Parikritita. Utpanna Ratayar Saumya. The Rati have been awakened. Rati means his complete platform bhava. But Nirvignyam Anupagata. He has not become fully purified. There might be still possibility of committing aparad. Nirvignyam Anupagata. And Krishna Sakshat Krita Yogya. Now he is qualified to associate with the Krishna. Sadhaka Parikirtita. Such a person is defined as sadhaka. That means when we are discussing about who can become a Shiksha Guru, and when we are discussing about the difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, at one point we can, with an understanding that they are actually same. Like Prabhupada says, Diksha Guru is personal manifestation of Madan Mohan Vigraha, and Shiksha Guru is personal representative of Govinda Dev Vigraha. Now you can imagine. And so they are identical. This is what it is, that they are in the topmost platform of Krishna consciousness, and when they instruct us, we get benefit from such association. On the other hand, if we associate with some neophyte devotees, sometimes they also can instruct another neophyte devotee. I mean to say, one neophyte devotee can occupy the position of Shiksha Guru for another neophyte devotee. That is also possible. There is nothing wrong in that. But when here we are talking about formally somebody acting as a Shiksha Guru to guide the devotee to grow in Krishna consciousness, to be engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, this is what it is. According to Rupa Goswami, Utpanna Rataya Samyam Nirvignam Anupagata Krishna Sakshat Krito Yogya Sadhaka Parikirtita. They are defined here as sadhaka. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is speaking, such kind of devotees are the manifestations of Krishna who acts as Shiksha Guru and guide the Jivatmas to gain shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, dear devotees.